Hi. It's Blitz Ace again, and we're here to sort of like do a little bit of a podcast on a few bits and pieces. We're just going to be talking absolute rubbish as much as we can, and I have my friend here to help me. Introduce yourself.
I'm Jenko, online as Jenko the Red, in various different places if you get really depressed and have nothing better to do, you know. Find me on, I'm not so much on Twitter, like that's bad, but like Blue Sky, Instagram, I don't know, Twitch, OnlyFans, wherever you want, really.
I never really bothered with Twitter. I'm not sure if it
Hold up,
just it
hold
kind
up,
of like
hold on
went
a sec.
past me
You are
or
recording now, aren't you? Because
I
I'm not.
am. Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I'm not.
I started recording it. It's fine. You're not recording. I'm not recording. Are we recording?
I'm not recording. I mean, I was going to record it as well, so there's a backup, but I didn't hit record. So,
Oh, well, then you're severely delayed. Do you want to like start a record part way in, or are you just going to leave it go?
yeah, I'll do that right now. Yeah.
just to sort of like have it just as a bit
This
of a
is the
backup for
censored
things.
version of this episode.
It's censored.
Well,
Oh,
we didn't do the intro bit on it because I forgot to hit record.
okay. Well, then at least we've got some sort of a backup for it
I
at the
even
very
think
least.
I might be using the wrong microphone.
Wait, really?
Oh wait, to you I'm using the wrong microphone via Discord, but I think on OBS, OBS is coming through fine with this microphone, this new one that I paid a lot of money for.
Wait, so you've got two microphones. I'm hearing you on one, not the other. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Hold on a second. Um, if I go to my settings,
I mean,
yeah, the
surely.
wrong one's the wrong one is. Oh no, yeah, it's the right one. This is the default microphone. Normally, it's like, oh yeah, your laptop one is the default microphone,
No,
and it
no.
sounds like absolute shit.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to hear the difference of just the microphone
Oh, for sure, yeah.
on the laptop. It just wouldn't have been
Oh, for
quite the same
sure.
for it.
Yeah, you
Um,
would know. It sounded like a fart through a door box. Yeah, a door box, a
door
letterbox.
box.
Yeah. A door box. People have door boxes.
Door boxes. It's what they used to be called before letters existed
Then why were there boxes on the doors?
for the parcels.
But parcels surely were delivered after letters.
I don't know. Because you had pigeons, I guess, pigeonholes. Because that's what a pigeonhole was.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Because it used to kind of go from like pigeon, I guess, aviaries to one to the other. It used to be used as like communication, I'm guessing.
I wonder
Um,
who looked at a bird and thought, fuck me, that thing could definitely send a text message.
tweeting. Yeah, full circle. No, but like pigeons were domesticated for our purposes, so we could send
Yeah.
messages back and too, which is why pigeons always stay close to humans, whereas other birds don't. They're the only
Hmm.
ones that sort of do because they're domesticated, and obviously they were used to like communicate with these sort of like different things. So
I
yeah,
always thought it was just because pigeons just fucking loved the Greg sausage roll.
I mean,
And that's
don't
why they
we
were always
all?
following me
They're
around,
all they're all really nice, to be fair.
Yeah, they would
Um,
just follow me around because, like, fuck me, he's got a Greg's and I can't order one because I don't have my credit card on me.
yeah, because you see a pigeon just kind of like holding its credit card, going, "No, pay, I'll pay." But not. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work so well. Probably get declined credit on that one. But oh, off the
Do you
beaten
have any
track
talking
already.
points this? Do you have any talking points this episode, by the way?
Do you know what? I had some, and I
Mm.
have some from previous one as well.
Oh
Of
yeah,
obviously talking points for it. Do you know the one thing I was wanting to talk to you about though? I,
what's that?
I wanted to talk to you about the D&D idea that I had.
Oh yeah.
So I thought,
Well, hang on. Should you tell me this because I'm going to be a player in it, right?
well, so the reason
Unless
why
you've got another secret group, which I'm totally fine with.
you're not though. Um,
No, it's fine. No,
no,
it's fine.
so
You can
so
have another best friend. It's fine.
I've got right. So like, it's more the premise of the of obviously what it is, not the story. It's not like what's gonna. It's more like the where I want to sort of like hold it and obviously how it wants to sort of be. So for
Is it going to be a coliseum?
no, but that's actually a
Oh.
different idea that I had for something, and I'll come
Mm.
back around to that. I'm sure that I will remember that we talked about it, and I'll come back around to it. Well, we'll see. Um,
Keep notes.
do you, I should, yeah, just make a yeah. Um, do you remember the film Waterworld?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So basically, that was the sort of like type of premise I had for like a D&D campaign, where
Okay.
basically you start off on like on just a ship, or like a city that's built on like floats and things like that. And obviously you have it where like you've got pirates that come in, and then basically you're sort of like hired in to investigate as to why the everything's sort of flooded as it is. And I have an idea of obviously where that goes, and obviously how it can be investigated, and obviously there are still certain peaks of like mountains that can still be gone into, and obviously there are some dungeons on some of those. So obviously it was one of the ideas that I had as a bit of a premise for an idea, is obviously to kind of like use that idea with a few other like twists and turns for it. And because we did like a nautical theme with one of the last sort of like D&Ds that we did, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good
I
fun.
loved it. Yeah, I thought it was great. The only reason we stopped is because my hard drive failed and I had no handwritten notes. So every NPC and everything that we'd come up with and possible side quests and stuff we were going to go back to and other things like that was just lost. So it was like,
Yeah, and it's not as if we can remember 2 years worth of obviously the whole campaign. It was a long campaign, but
what
it
I have
was
learned is keep handwritten notes. If you do D&D and you think, I'll run this off my laptop, my PC, it will die. You will lose everything. Yeah. And it was like, yeah, like you said, like 2-year campaign. And we played a lot.
yeah. To
Like,
be fair, I store a lot of the when I actually do keep notes, which is very rarely. I actually keep them on an online drive, so there's no physical thing of it. It's just an
hmm.
online thing.
So
Um,
I would do that in the future, but we're running a book at the minute, so I don't need to.
yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far.
I mean, my life at the minute is just so full of vampires, and it's not like an obsession. It's gonna sound like it's not. I'm not obsessed with vampires. They're just around. Now because we're playing Curse of Strahd, and I kept seeing TikToks of just like
Twilight.
Twilight and
Yeah,
like
I
the
knew you were gonna say that.
ha 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 that, and I kept like doing that around the house because like it's a banging song. That bit I've never heard the full song, but that intro is amazing. And so we're watching the Twilight movies. We're up to film number 4. I think they could have left it at 3. 3 was pretty boring in my opinion. Um, we're playing Curse of Strahd. There's that. There was a TV show I was going to watch, and then I found it was full of vampires. I really want to watch the film that's coming out called Nosferatu, which
Mm.
is basically a remake of Dracula. Someone
Yeah.
stole it. And then I found out about this tabletop game which you can play solo called 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, which is you just roll a couple of dice and you write notes and you make this life of a vampire. So there's just a lot of vampire stuff in my life right now.
Which
I
can
didn't
suck,
mean,
really, can't it?
yeah, I mean, I didn't mean it to be. It's just it is, and I got the joke, and I'm going to ignore it because it was terrible.
But it's a dad joke, so it's all fine.
I mean, yeah, I suppose, but
I mean, all dad jokes are good, but like some are just apparent.
yeah. I came up with two. I heard 2 the other day, and I told my wife, and she just looked at me like I was shit on her shoe.
It's like a daily
Like,
occurrence, so isn't it really?
I mean, it was like, why is dark spelt with a K and not a C? It's like because you can't see in the dark. And she just could see her face just go like, ugh. I don't even remember what the other one was. I liked the other one more, and I don't remember what it was. But she'll equally not remember it because it was awful. So yeah. Then you can't see in the dark. It's like, oh yeah, you go into a dark room. I have dark vision. We all have dark vision.
Yeah, there's not much point of like dark vision in D&D as much. There really is.
I mean, you can only see like 60 feet away from you, but like it's still. I have
well,
dark vision.
it's not you can see clearly, and the 60 feet that you can see is like it's like dim. It's like you
Yeah,
can
but like
just
how
about
far?
sort of-
60 foot is not like a small amount of feet.
Well, I
So
mean,
being able to see like 60 feet in black and white is still handy, and then I think it's another 60 feet in dim lighting conditions. I think it is. I think it counts. So I think in total you can't see 120 feet. If I could be wrong. It's been a while since I read it.
well, that
But
and we have found out that we've sort of been relying too much on what we're told and not enough on what we read. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
we should probably read that book, and instead of obviously having been told this is what it actually works out to be, no, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No. If you roll a critical hit in combat, was it you roll another dice, isn't it? Because we just doubled the dice.
Well, yeah, that and a crit also doubles the dice for spells as well.
Yeah.
which we never
So
did.
yeah,
We never do it.
and yeah, and it's all the additional dice. So like sneak damage.
Yeah,
When you roll your d6, you just roll more d6.
it's just
Like they count, and I
it's,
didn't know
you
that.
double all the dice.
Yeah, yeah, it's wild. When you read the rule book, it's crazy.
Yeah, shit gets real.
Yeah, real fast.
I mean, it's not like we roll a lot of nat 20s anyway. So
No, my favorite one was it we were playing Curse of Strahd or were we playing the other? I think we were playing the other campaign, the shorter homebrew one I was doing.
no. This was Curse of
And
Strahd, right?
was it? And you
And
went, I'm just gonna roll a natural 20.
no, sorry, that's not the one I was thinking of. Yes, that
Oh.
one where it was just a thing where, like, you know, and obviously you sort of said, well, you get up if you roll a nat 20 because I've been knocked over. And obviously then I was like, well, yeah, fine, I'll just roll the nat 20. Rolled it, nat 20. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, like
The one
I'm
I
just
was
gonna roll a natural 20, and then you did, and I was like, well, fuck me down with a feather then.
The one I was thinking that you meant was in Curse of Strahd, and we sort of like, I
Mhm.
started humming the tune to Fantasy Costco, and you were like, it's not in
Oh,
this. And then Laura was like, what if I roll a nat 20? And you were like, all right, I guess I will.
And then
And
and then everyone just started rolling dice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it's time to come clean with this. Now, I didn't invent the Fantasy Costco.
I-
It's from a different one, and I took it because it was a great idea. It's a different. It's played different to how it's done in another one, but it's still not my creation.
I mean, to be fair though, I mean, we all kind of take ideas from other things and then just put a new spin on it. That's pretty much
Yeah.
how most of like any of the film industry does anything right now. They just kind of
Yeah,
like
I mean, well,
put a new spin on it.
just mentioned Nosferatu, which is
Yeah.
basically it is Dracula. Just their names have changed, and it's set in Germany, not England. It's exactly the same. He's something called Jonathan Harker. He's called like Mr. Gliebenstocken or something, and like he's called Nosferatu. No, Count Glock, I think he's called instead of Count Dracula. Still
Oh,
a count. Yeah, still has a castle. Still has like 4 wives. You know,
Huh.
it's crazy. It looks really scary as well. Like,
Nosferatu.
yeah. My son asked me, he was like, why did you watch scary movies? He's like, because I like to be scared. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know, because I'm fucking weird. All right.
It prepared you to be an adult.
Well, I don't know, man. Watching 11, Alien at the age of like 8 or 11 or whatever. It's just.
Yeah,
I was watching Alien 3 while I was making tea before, so,
the first film I ever watched was Jurassic Park, and it was the first. It was the first film I ever watched in the cinema when we had a cinema
Ooh.
where we were. It's at the
I
cinema
never
we had in
watched that. I
Austria.
never knew you watched that in the cinema.
Yeah, watched it at the cinema, and I remember I fell asleep for a certain part of it. I woke back up and there was a T-Rex in my face, and I screamed. I mean,
Man.
I was only young, but still, I screamed.
There's a lot of horror dinosaur games at the minute based on Jurassic Park.
Are there?
Yeah, I think there's one called Unknown Tapes. Is one, and it's played like it's called analog horror now, but it's more like found footage, and it's got all the static, like you're watching a video play out. So it's almost like you're watching it rather than playing it, but you are still controlling it because it's got like that little bar at the bottom of the screen that like VHS is where it's like the blah, 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 blah at the bottom, and the lines go across it occasionally. And so there's that one, and it looks a lot like Jurassic Park. And there's another one. It's on Gary's mod, which is itself a mod of Half-Life, I think. Yeah, and there's just a lot of dinosaur horror games at the minute based on Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
There's even an official Jurassic Park game coming out where you're some random woman that worked for Jurassic Park and just got left behind after the end of the first one. She's just left behind, and the story takes place like the next day.
So it's like a stealth type game.
I mean, yeah, you're just like an admin worker who works for Jurassic Park, and there's fucking T-Rexes everywhere.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you go by the first film, there was only one T-Rex, and then there was like a lot of velociraptors, and there was they made more herbivores than they did the carnivores.
Hang on, how many herbivores? Yeah, we see we
Oh,
do
well,
see a ton of
you go through a
herbivores, but yeah.
field of the herbivores, and obviously they had
Yeah,
loads
that's
of
true.
like
They're moving in
Diplodocus.
herds. They do move in herds.
They do move in herds. But apparently it's not what they were supposed to look like. Apparently, like they weren't sort of like scaly. They actually had feathers.
Yeah,
T-Rex had feathers.
That's
And
a big like thing at the minute with the science world. It's like dinosaurs obviously had feathers, and they knew this at the time. It's like, yeah, but story wise, you get around it by saying, because he even says we mix the DNA of dinosaurs with frogs, with frog DNA, and frogs are reptiles. Are they reptiles? Yeah,
well, they're cold-blooded, I think. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, frog skin looks a lot like that dinosaur skin, so
Yeah.
you know. So
Um.
that's how you get around it. I mean, it's like they even say it's not a real dinosaur. You know,
Yeah,
in
like
Jurassic Park.
because they had to sort of say it's not a real dinosaur.
Yeah. Also, it's a fucking movie.
Oh, well, I mean, people do get really annoyed when they don't get the continuity correct with these things.
Well, there's a famous picture of Steven Spielberg, and he's kneeling down next to like the sick Triceratops, and it's posed like he shot it and hunted it and killed it. And there were people that were mad at him for hunting this thing and killing it. Like, it's not real. It's a Triceratops. It's not real. When was the last time you saw one of these things like batting around in the outback?
Well,
know?
it's because he killed the last one, isn't it?
Wow. There's that rhino in like it's I think it's a I think it is a male. It's the last male white rhino or something like that. And it's got 24-hour armed protection from poachers
Whoa.
because it's the last one in the world. Unless it died, but it was old and it's got 24-hour protection because it's the last one in the world.
Isn't it sad that that has to happen?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, yeah, I can't fix it. It is sad. It does suck. And I think it's very callous where I'm like, I can't fix it, but like, what am I going to do? I'm just a fat white man sat in his living room painting little models for fun. Like, you know,
How's that going anyway?
that's not bad. I recorded a video over like 2 days of painting one model. I've just got to edit it and put it together. But the wife said, you need to edit my video and put that on YouTube for me. And I said, okay. And I haven't finished it yet.
What, doing her video?
Yeah, she asked me like, I gotta say about 2 months ago to do it. And it's been sat on the GoPro SD card. So yeah, I started editing that, I think yesterday. I just need to stick some LUTs on it and whack a title card and stuff, and it's done. So 10-minute job. Can I be asked to do it? No.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I feel this time of year. You just don't really want to do anything. You just want to chill. You just want to relax.
Yeah.
Christ. Oh, yeah. I know. Obviously, I've got the background for obviously Dragon Ball, and I want to sort of like bring it to a topic of Dragon Ball, just because funsies and everything.
Tell me about it.
Now, there's always a big thing about Dragon Ball and obviously versus other universes of like of all these different sort of things. It's like who would win out of like when Goku versus Saitama from One Punch, or like Goku versus one of the Powerpuff Girls or whatever it might be, or like Goku versus Superman and all this sort of stuff. There's so many different like things for those where you get like death battles of all these sort of things, and they calculate how strong every character is. It goes into some serious detail. I was watching one, and it was to do with like it was the Superman versus Goku, right? And it kind of
most famous one, because even I've heard of that one.
Yeah, because they calculate like how strong Goku is, even based on like his new Ultra Instinct, which obviously I know you don't know much about, but like they sort of calculate to the extreme that he is there, and then obviously where Superman is for it, and it is mental, like the arguments that sort of like happen from this small question of like who could beat who dad.
Yeah. The thing is, man, is at the end of the day, who fucking cares?
I do.
Unless it's your favorite character, who fucking cares? Okay, right. Goku versus Saitama, not a fair fight. It's just not a fair fight. Saitama's like One Punch Man; he can kill anything in one punch. Goku can't do that, so automatically Saitama's going to win. Versus Superman, they're about equal. They're about equal. Both of them are basically immortal. Superman gets his power from the sun. Goku gets his power from the sun with the Spirit Bomb.
No.
Well,
no.
but
no.
Like, that's not what I meant to say. But It's not what I meant. He gets it like from All Life. Oh, that was
Yeah.
it. Hang on, I've got the comic under my desk. It's in the dark. I think it's Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. So it's like where it's like where the one that it was based on, like the film was based on, like where Batman's retired and he comes out of retirement. But
Okay.
in this comic, he is actually like really old. So, like he's got white hair. He's like really old. I think he's in his 60s, which people are saying that's not that old. It's like it is if you're fucking Batman.
Yeah.
And like yeah, he comes out of retirement and he fights Superman because he's basically like a
Yeah.
vigilante, like a proper rebel
That's
at this
it.
point. Like the police commissioner is like, it's a new police commissioner, and they're like, I'm gonna have his fucking ass in prison soon. And so they're at odds. And then like even the president gets pissed off with Batman because I think does he set off a bomb or something? I don't remember.
No,
He does something.
so basically the story of that is with the Batman versus Superman is Batman is trying to make it so Superman didn't take sides because obviously he was supposed to be on the side of humanity. He ends up sort of like doing like an agreement with the US and obviously sort of like, trying to stop certain sort of like, powers getting, getting
No,
over.
this is. I think this is a different one because like the president basically sicks Superman on Batman because
Yeah.
Batman does something, and
So
then he's like send Superman to like go kick his ass, and then like Superman, I think he drops a bomb on Superman. That was it, or a kryptonite grenade or something. There's a kryptonite green arrow, so it's got to be an arrow. So he gets kryptonited, and then he absorbs like strength and stuff from the flowers, just like Goku does with the spirit bomb. That was it.
yeah.
So yeah, so that happens. Like I've got the comic under my desk, but I remember the image of like Superman all like in the grass, and then flowers are just like somehow sending him energy, and then he's
Well,
like, yeah,
'cause
sick spirit bomb.
So
Boom.
his Superman cells absorb light, well, the red sun, and obviously they store it for certain amounts of time. And as he gets older, he actually gets stronger as he is getting older. This is where
Okay.
you get like the golden sun Superman, which is where he lived in the sun, and he came out golden,
Mm.
and he had infinite power, sort of thing. It was ridiculous.
Okay.
But like one of the
That's a lot of
things
time
is like when he was on the ground, I'm guessing that like he was able to pull the cells that had photosynthesis, so obviously the plants and everything else.
I can't be asked. At
Yeah,
the bottom of the pile, I can't be asked to get it
it's
out.
over the top for it.
Yeah,
But like when it
I
comes to
don't
like
care that much to go into the
no,
effort.
but like they're great comics. Don't get me wrong, they're really
They
good.
are, yeah. They're
you've got
written
some
by
really
Frank
good.
Miller. So.
Yeah. One of the great things I always sort of find is like when you got like Goku versus like Saitama. The fun part about that sort of side of things is Saitama he's more of a gag character, and the fun thing about gag characters is that you can't really hurt a gag character. So he's written in the way that you can't really injure him.
Isn't it he says in the first episode or something, or the first book, he's like he trained so hard he went bald.
So yeah, basically, so he did.
I think that's when it lost my respect. It's like, so this is just a joke to you. Okay, it was gonna be a joke to me then.
Yeah, because you see him sort of like doing his training, and he basically does like 100 sit-ups, 100 press-ups, 100 squats, and then he does a 5K run every single day, and he did it for 3 years, and he did it non-stop, and that's how he got his powers.
Jesus Christ. I think I watched it up to, I think it might have been episode 3, something about metal bees or a metal bee.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, this is shit.
I loved it. I still
mean,
I love reading it, and obviously I love watching it. It's really, I find it really fun and entertaining. But like I saw like it kind of like does a nice little nod to like other animes and stuff. Like the first like creature that you see in the first episode looks exactly like Piccolo.
yeah, I think if I went back and watched it, because I used to be a lot more cynical than I am now. That's hard to believe, but I used to be a lot more cynical than I am now. So I was just like, I just wrote stuff off like, that's shit. I'm not watching it. I'm not reading it. I'm not listening to it. Nothing. I was just like, nah. I think if I went back and rewatched it now, I'd probably enjoy it a lot more than I did at the time. So I'm doing that with a lot of things. Like I used to hate the Twilight films, and I'm watching them now. I'm having a great time. Just like, ha 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 ha.
I've never watched them.
Ah, I mean,
I've never watched them, and I don't really feel like watching them.
You
But
don't have to. I mean, like I said, like my missus was just like, "Hey, should we rewatch them?" And I'm like, "Do we have to?" And she's like, "You keep doing the thing," and I'm like, "I do keep doing the thing." And she's like, "Do you want to watch?" I was like, "Do you want to watch them?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, let's watch them together then." So that's how we ended it. And now I just sit there going, and like, there's the Christmas tree's over there, and until today, there was I'd printed out a picture of Edward and Bella in a tree, and I'd put that at the top of the tree. And then Laura put like an actual Christmas tree on a a star on top of the tree, but it was there, and I was giggling my tits off at it. I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't see why there's another two like films. I don't know what the story is, but I can't imagine it's great. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm actually gonna do it and you know and sit there and try and enjoy it.
yeah, I mean,
But
this
then
it's never really come up in. Obviously, there's never really. Laura's never asked me to watch it, so
you sat through all the Vampire Diaries, so
I did. I sat through the whole
I've
thing.
never seen it. I don't know if it's any good or not.
Certain parts were watchable. It's basically, it's not my sort of thing, but like, I enjoyed it all right. It was fine. I wouldn't watch it again.
Fair enough.
It's long. But then she's asked to watch Supernatural's one of the next things.
Ugh. No,
It,
I'm joking.
it
I've watched a bit of that. It's okay. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
there are
fine.
certain parts of that again. I find that it's all right. It's just
Yeah.
there's way too much of it sometimes.
I mean, it's something like a 17 series, and I'm
Yeah,
like, that's too long. I
yeah.
can't. I mean, I've just started watching The Sopranos, and I thought, oh, that's like 7 seasons long. There's like 13 episodes a season. I was like, I can do that. That's fine. That's manageable. That's not going to eat away a year of my life.
I'm trying to catch
know?
up on the Rookie.
I'm up to seasons. Whatever was on Now TV is where I am.
Be like
now. I don't want to say
season
anything.
5
Season
or something
6
like that,
or
or
something.
season 6.
I don't want to say where I'm up to because I think I'm ahead of you, which is
Oh
really
yeah, because I decided, because I couldn't exactly remember where I was, so I thought I'd start from where I remember exactly. So I started off season 4 episode 1, and obviously I'm just going through that now. I'm just sort of like, seeing what I can remember as I go through it.
So I don't remember a lot of. I don't remember season specific stuff because I binged it. So, oh yeah, in season 2 when this happens, I was like, when did that happen? Like season 2, I was like, oh, I wouldn't know.
So basically, I've started the season where right at the very start, the actor who plays Wes, not Wes, no, where is the three
Which one's
rookies,
Wes?
the three rookies came up together,
Yeah.
and one of them gets shot in the back.
Oh yeah, that one.
It is
Oh
Officer
yeah, it's like a
Wes.
real like he was not invited back for the next season, was he?
No,
'Cause it's
so
like
right, so what it
30
was is
seconds into the
apparently
first episode. Yeah.
apparently he wanted to
Christ.
do something different. So they were like,
Well,
okay, we'll get rid of you completely.
all right.
It's like,
Yeah,
all
you
right.
can do that.
So he's never gonna come back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like Officer West or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
remember now.
yeah. So I basically started from there, and then it was like, it was I've enjoyed it. There's a lot of series that I wanted to watch, but I never got around to sort of doing it. And then there's some that I kind of started and then just kind of forgot about. Like, I still haven't watched. I don't think I've finished watching all of The Witcher. I think I got like so far through the last season, and then when they did that like break, I never came back to it afterwards. So I've still got that to finish watching.
When was the last time it wasn't there was definitely no season this year.
No.
Was there a season last year?
Yeah, but it was in 2 parts. You had the first half and the second half. And I watched the
But it
first
came out
half.
last year, did it?
Something like last year, I want to say. I can't remember now. But then the same thing kind of with like Cobra Kai. Loved Cobra Kai.
That's in 3 parts as well, the last season.
Really?
Yeah, there was season 1 where they were doing training, season part 1 doing the training, part 2 is the Setai Taikai, and then like the part 3 is like the aftermath of that.
Oh, yeah. So
yeah,
I haven't watched any of that yet, and I still watch it. I don't know what it is.
I love Cobra Kai. I think it's great.
Yeah, I've loved it when it came back, and now they're going to be doing the film.
Which is its own thing as well.
It's a separate part to it because they're getting Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan's.
Yeah, that's just really cool.
I was like, what?
he still owns like the Guinness Book of World Records of the most films that have been done with his, he's doing his own stunts. Nobody
That
else has
doesn't
done as
surprise me at
many.
all. Doesn't
Uh,
surprise me at all.
it's like in one of them, he was the one that did his own stunt jumping across buildings. It's like, I don't want to jump across a building. Why would you want to do that? He's just like, he didn't want it to seem unrealistic. It's like, okay, right, well
All right,
done.
go for it.
Jesus. Ah,
His movies are great though. Like, I know it. I don't know. It's like mainstream, but like the Rush Hour ones are just
yeah.
classic. They're just fantastic. And oh man, I love those movies.
I love the fact that he met Bruce Lee, and he did like a little bit of a gag thing in one of Bruce Lee's films, and Bruce Lee loved it because he did it
Yeah, I
where
know.
like he had a little bit of a fight, and then a seat came off of his bike, and he went to sit on it without the seat on it, and he hurt his ass.
Yeah.
And like Bruce Lee like loved it. He thought it was brilliant. Can't remember which one it was though. I think it was like oh, which one was it now? Oh, was it The Big Boss or something like that?
I know he was in Enter the Dragon and he accidentally got punched by Bruce
Yeah.
during the film in Enter the Dragon when they were doing like the big fight like at the end of the movie, like the big like everyone's fighting
Yeah.
everyone. And I think he accidentally punches Jackie in the face, and Jackie's got a mustache at this point, so it doesn't look like him at all. So if you see Bruce Lee if you see Bruce Lee just clobber someone in the jowls with a mustache, that's probably Jackie Chan. But yeah, so I know he did that because I think he was in an interview, Jackie, and he said that I met him and he punched me in the face by accident, and then they called cut, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
Well, that was the whole thing, wasn't it? Because with obviously his style of martial arts, it wasn't supposed to be something you hold back with. Even the
No,
sparring was full contact. It was just like, holy shit.
yeah, it
Um,
was like,
but like
um,
it was the creator of like MMA. It's the reason why we have MMA, and obviously the mix of martial arts is from his style of
yeah,
things.
it was definitely a precursor to it, wasn't it?
Very
But
much.
there's so many things that's been about him that I've not watched. Like I didn't watch the Brandon Lee movie. Was it Brandon Lee? Did he play him? No, he didn't. No,
The
Brandon Lee's his son.
Brandon Lee
That's
was his
it.
son, and he played the Crow, and he
Yeah, he
died.
played. Yeah,
Which obviously
that's it.
they're doing another Crow or something, or
They
they've
did do
done.
one, and it's terrible.
Oh right, okay.
It's terrible. Like he doesn't look like the tortured soul that he's supposed to be. He looks like a shit SoundCloud rapper, because that's what he is in the movie, a shit SoundCloud rapper. And girls are like, I'm gonna go so feral for this guy because look at him, and it's just like he looks really fucking like stupid as the Crow, and it's like, come on, man, come on, you can do better, be better, you know.
But I
And I
think
was like,
like
it's a remake, and it's like it's not. It's just like it just feels like another story, and it's like too close to the other one. Just do an original movie. Don't make a remake. Do an original story set in that universe.
yeah, I mean I see like this is one of the issues I have with like some films when it's like why don't they kind of like do a film that is it might be based on the same thing, but they do a completely different story from it.
You
Because
know what I've just thought now? This is the second thing about this. A new Spawn movie
oh yeah.
where it's like, Al Simmons has stopped being Spawn like Cogliostro did to him. So a new Hellspawn comes along and he's trying to help guide that Hellspawn. You know? It's similar, but it's not the same.
Yeah, but the problem you've got with that is it still brings the same issue of like, what are you gonna have as like the as the connection between the characters? Are you gonna go more true to the comics? Are you gonna sort of like do this?
I have no idea what the comic story is these days.
Oh God, I can't even think.
I tried to catch up like earlier this year, and I think I got to like issue 15, reading it in a totally reputable legal website.
Yeah, sure.
I winked for everyone lot watching the video and listening. I winked,
You either winked or blinked. I don't know which.
and I can't. I don't know. Yeah. So I got to like issue 20, and then I got like I think I had a lot on, so I stopped reading it. But it was really good, and it's like nowhere near what I remember it being.
I mean, I think I had a couple of I had a couple of comics, and I had the Spawn versus the Gorilla figure, and I'm pretty sure I've still got it downstairs somewhere.
I
But
think you do, yeah.
yeah, but Spawn was really good, and I feel like the character was like a really strong character to have in it. But I don't know. I'm almost kind of sick of them doing comic book films now. I kind of want it's so oversaturated. I want something different. If they're gonna do like a comic book style character, maybe do something that's not so mainstream and do something a little bit more.
I was about to say all the big ones have been done to
Yeah,
death. Like
yeah.
you got like 18 Supermans, Batmans, Spider-Man's, like the Avengers, the whole thing. I rewatched Hawkeye like in the last few days. I've been off work because I hurt my ankle like a lot. Like I tore some stuff. I fell down 2 stairs. And my body's like, no, we can't. We're not equipped to handle this level of stress. And I was off and on crutches for a week. I was on crutches again the other day. I find like walking is fine, but then like the next day it's like, why did we do this to ourselves? Um, so yeah, so I've been off work, so I've been doing like just a lot of stuff, and I've forgotten what I was talking about with this. But I watched Hawkeye today because it's a Christmas one,
Yeah.
and I was in the kitchen, and I think I was like making a cake at the time, or I was washing up, and my wife was in the living room, and she just said like da 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 music, and she's like, "What are you watching?" And I'm like, "Hawkeye." She's like, "Oh." I was like, "What?" She goes, "I thought you were watching a Marvel film without me," and I'm like, "Would it matter?" She's like, "Nah, not really," because I think Marvel's like it's people are over it, I think, unless like they're like super like dorky and nerdy and into it, and that's fine if you are. I used to love the MCU, but I'm so over it now because it's been like 15 years. There's been like 40 movies, countless TV shows. It's just like, oh come on! Thank God they're taking kind of a break. It seems like at the minute.
No, because
Like the only one I know is coming out. The only Marvel one I know is coming out is that the Fantastic Four film. I don't know any of the Marvel things that
oh
are coming
wait,
out.
so you don't know about like the new Captain America against Red Hulk?
Oh yeah, is it Thunderbolts? Oh, so I know. Hang on, no things are coming there. So there's Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
There is that Captain. Yeah, Brave New World. That's it. And then I know they're doing the one I'm actually looking forward to. I forgot about, which was Daredevil Born Again. And that's all I know. I because at one point there was like, oh yeah, there's 10 Marvel projects cooking right now, and it's like, oh Jesus, how are people gonna watch these?
But like because people don't want to miss out, they will always come back to it. That's where they've got the hook in, and they're just kind of like they just keep sort of putting stuff out there. People will even the worst films are gonna make money because people want
I
to
mean,
watch
that's
it. And not
definitely not true because
well, no,
it's
because
definitely not true.
there's a lot of people that will still go to the cinema to watch them because they don't want to miss what might be at the end of it, like to link to the next ones or whatever it might be. Like you had oh, what was it? Oh God, what was it called?
Which what was this? DC or Marvel?
No, it was a Marvel, and it was like
Right.
it was uh it was like a group, and they were aliens, and they all
The
had
Inhumans.
that might be in it,
The
yeah.
Inhumans. They lived on the moon.
Yeah, I think so.
Black Bolt
Uh, maybe, yeah.
couldn't speak because it couldn't speak because he'd blow your mind.
Uh, um, yeah, I think. Oh, was that it? Oh
Oh, the
Christ,
Eternals.
the Eternals. That's it. That's it. That's
Ah,
the
there
one.
we go.
The
It's
Eternals.
weird that I went to the Inhumans before the Eternals.
Yeah. So like, the Eternals.
Flopped.
Do you remember? Do you remember anything about it?
I remember some things about it. I remember it had a rocking cast to
Yeah.
a degree.
Yeah.
I remember that it could have been a really good story.
Yeah.
I remember it being way too long to be interesting.
The
And I remember the twist, and I don't want to say it because spoilers, but it's been out for 5 years. Fuck it.
Yeah, but like,
You
so
know,
like that was supposed to be linking into another sort of like big join up. That was the
yeah.
reason why they sort of did
Oh,
it.
and also there's this giant stone hand sticking out of the ocean, and like that's just never mentioned again.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's never mentioned again. Is it called Thanatos? Was that what it's called?
Ooh.
Or I can't remember what it was. What the thing was. The Celestial was called. But yeah, there's just this giant hand sticking out of the earth, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we're gonna ignore that forever. Don't worry."
It's just not there. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I
Um,
think it's mined for adamantium or something.
well, adamantium is a whole other thing because you had the Black Panther film, the last one that came out.
Mm.
Um, that was like a whole other sort of thing, which I feel like it wasn't necessary. I feel like because they never really introduced like a new Black Panther or anything like that. It was all based around obviously, the funeral and obviously what they're going to do afterwards, and obviously there's a little bit of a war with another sort of like hidden place that obviously had stuff to. It just seemed like, yeah, it just seems like it's. I don't know. I feel like they want to try and like go for something that is hidden in the background. They want to do like another Thanos type thing where it's like a big build up to big, sort of like Infinity War, but like it doesn't have the. They're trying to rush it, and they're
Well,
trying to use the same people. They could do it like in a different universe, whole different cast, and not have anything to do with that. If they wanted to put them in, do like a crossover with the multiverse. But the multiverse has been done so much now, it's just getting annoying.
yeah.
It's like you've now got, oh Christ, you've got like four different ways of crossing the multiverse.
I mean,
Um,
Doctor Strange is a big one.
Doctor Strange is one of them, and obviously the his new sort of like assistant, if you like, she can cross like the multiverse. You've got the one of the Miss Marvel. One of the Miss Marvels, she could cross multiverses. That's kind of like one of the nods that they sort of did to introduce the X-Men into it. Um, and obviously then you've got like there's another one that can sort of like cross multiverses and stuff, and it's just the quantum realm can sort of like cross like multiverses and stuff.
Well, this is what I was going to say because like
And
the
then
next
Loki.
like yeah, I love Loki. I think Loki's amazing. I think Loki, which is weird because I don't hate the character. I hate how overhyped everyone was like. Loki is the most amazing villain in movie history. He's like, not really. No, he's okay, but I don't see why he's overhyped. I mean, obviously he's gorgeous, so that's why we're doing it. But like, he was never like that. Seriously, when you learn about like the Asgardians and stuff like that, he just seemed kind of like, he's okay. You know, he's like the standard of things. He's just okay. But so as a character, I never really liked him. But then the TV shows I thought was fantastic. I love the TV show Loki. I think it's amazing, mainly because of Mobius as well. I was like, gosh, I love jet skis, and I'm like, I love that dude. I would take a bullet for that dude. This is great to see Owen Wilson with a mustache and like a plaster over his nose for no reason, like he's Nelly. You know, I think it's fantastic. I really do, and I like that they were in the Deadpool and Wolverine film. So I like that they were still included in that. So yeah, that was really cool. But going back to like the Thanos thing, like the big threat they wanted to do was
Kang.
yeah, Kang, He Who Remains. Is that what he was called? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like something happened with the actor. I think I
Yeah,
heard
he
there was
he
some
was
controversy.
so he was arrested and prosecuted for violent offenses or something like that, and then obviously they were
Right.
like, right, get rid of that.
Yeah.
Um,
So they just binned off that character. That whole phase or whatever was just like scrapped. And now they've got nothing. They're just dicking around in the multiverse for a little while.
yeah, but I don't see why
Um,
they couldn't have just used the multiverse excuse as a good excuse to sort of go, right, so that's not what Kang looks like anymore. This is, and then just put a new
yeah.
person in it. That's all they
I
have
mean,
to
in
do.
Loki, he was a fucking crocodile. You know,
Ah, yeah,
in one of them.
yeah.
Another
Well,
one, he
Loki was
was
female.
yeah. So yeah. Why couldn't he just recast?
Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't have like recast it. But like I feel like they had like a good setup for something there, but they've ended up
Mm.
having to get rid of it. So now they've got to try and do a new setup, and I well, I just don't know how it's going to go. And I feel like, as you sort of said before, like they've redone so many things now. You've got like another, is it? I think another two Spider-Man films are in the
There's another
works.
multiverse one for him, but I really liked. I haven't seen the second one. I really liked the first Spider-Man multiverse film. Was it Across the Multiverse?
Oh, you mean
And the second one's Into One.
the animated one?
Yeah, I think it is fantastic. I think it's the best Spider-Man movie there is.
The
I think it's really good. It's so funny. It's so good. The animation's quality. The voice acting's stellar. And it's just, I think it's probably the best Spider-Man film there is, there was, there ever will be.
part 2 of the second film, I think, is supposed to be coming out this next year. So I'm really looking
Sick.
forward to that because it
Yeah.
was really good. It took me ages to get around to sort of watching it, and I was like, "Oh, this is really, really good. I really like this."
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, we took our son into the cinema to watch it, and he's not a superhero fan at all. Like, he couldn't give a shit about Spider-Man at all. He just flat out couldn't care. And then we watched that, and he was laughing his ass off the entire time. And it was, yeah, it was great. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. It's great to see Kingpin back on Spider-Man
Yeah.
as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, fantastic Daredevil villain, but it is good to see that he is a Spider-Man villain as well.
yeah, to be fair, I mean, obviously, there's always a big crossover between Daredevil and Spider-Man because obviously they're in the same area. It's just obviously, you know, Daredevil only sort of like did Hell's Kitchen. He sort of like did that area more than anything else. There was some crossover with obviously the Kingpin, but he didn't. That wasn't really. I don't think Daredevil really had a main villain. He had lots of like little ones. Like
He was a Class C hero for a long time, wasn't he?
yeah, I mean,
And then Frank Miller came along, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make him fight ninjas.
yeah, which made a
And that
lot more
was it.
sense because like one of the first villains I think he goes against was Stiltman. It was just a guy with
it's
like
crazy.
extending stilts, and then
Yeah.
it was so strange. It just had,
Like-
it just had stilts. Like why
The
though?
comics were crazy back in the day, weren't they, man? Also, like, everyone gives shit. I know this is another comic like heavy episode, but everyone like gives the Adam West Batman so much shit. But if you actually read the Batman comics of that era, he is spot on for what was going around. Because it wasn't until the 80s where Batman got all dark and like, you know, serious and Batman. Because before that, he was like, yeah, let's do the Bat Boogie, la 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 in the comics, you know?
Yeah, because he
And
wore
if you
like
look at it,
really
he
bright
is-
colors and things like that. He was, you
Yeah.
know,
it was very
yeah,
camp and stuff like that. If you read the comics of that era, that show is like spot on for it. And everyone's like, that's not Batman. It's like, it fucking was Batman at the time.
it's
Your Batman
original.
is a different Batman.
Well, this is it. Is like you're the different generations of these sort of things. Because like you get the same thing with a lot of the other ones. Because exactly as you said then with like, you know, Daredevil, it wasn't like until later on that they went, you know what, we're gonna sort of like get him to fight more things like this. And obviously, sort of like he had his own sort of like similar, you know, Ra's al Ghul type sort of like, you know, thing that he sort of like had in that, and it was just done really well. But you always get it where like some of them they start in one place and then they just kind of it progressively just kind of changes. It doesn't sort of like
Yeah.
and there's not just one. I think we sort of like touched on this on the last one that we had, if I remember rightly, which is from bloody ages ago.
Well, I had no microphone and then like issues happened. I still have it in a drawer next to me. I just need to just throw it away or harvest it for Warhammer parts. But
Warhammer part sounds good. You could get like one of the Warhammers to sort of like be crushing it or something.
yeah, one of the Warhammer 40k men. Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell I know a lot about this.
Yeah, I mean, you're on a podcast about it.
Yeah.
You're on a tabletop role playing podcast about it. Yeah, I can see you've done the research.
I've done lots of research, more around like orcs because
They're hilarious.
it's just mental.
They're brilliant. Everyone's like, it's
Oh my
dark
God.
and broody and grim, and it is to a point. But if you actually look at some of it, it's fucking ridiculous.
But like this is
Man.
where I think again, it's the interpretation of obviously when you sort of get into it, when you look into certain parts of the lore for like that as well. It's like it can be
Yeah.
interpreted in different ways. Like, you know, the whole thing with like orcs and obviously they just kind of like if they have faith in it, it works.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
yeah,
how it is.
yeah.
And then you've
it's
got
just how
like,
it
you
is.
know, and then you've got like you know, people can interpret like the army to be like all strict and structured and everything else. And then you've got like what was the book that you lent me? And it's basically just a guy that just blags his way through everything.
Oh, Caiaphas Kane.
That's it, yeah.
Have you started reading that yet?
I have started reading little bits of it, and it's just like he basically just blags his way through. He's not
Yeah.
even trying to. He's
not even
not
trying to
intentional.
hide. No, no.
It
Like,
just kind of it
apparently-
works in his favor.
yeah, like it was like, oh, we're gonna make this guy a saint. We're gonna make him Saint Caiaphas because that's a big deal in Warhammer to be made a saint. It's a big deal. And they were looking through his journals and they're like, holy shit, we cannot do that now. Let's seal everything up. And like their secret police, the Inquisition, gets hold of it and they're making notes like in the books, so you can read their notes on it. It's great. There's at one point where like the Inquisition, he's at this formal dinner or something, and he's dancing with this woman, and she's the Inquisitor, and he's like, in this, and so they're just dancing, and he's like, oh, blah blah, and I'm very good at my job and investigating things. She's, oh yeah, and he goes, yes. For instance, I have reason to believe there's an Inquisitor on this planet, and he's like dancing with her, and it's fucking mental.
Oh God! But like this,
He blags his way through everything. Like he joined a tank crew to get away from the front lines because he figured he wouldn't be shot at, and becomes this
ah.
hero.
See, I think this is where like you could probably make your own like story about someone in Warhammer, and it would probably be fine to do it because there's no like structure. So you could probably just, if you get enough fan base to it, you'd be fine.
I mean, there is like fandom, like fanon, was it fan canon?
Yeah.
And like they have said that in Warhammer everything is canon, but not everything is true. And I'm like, that's such a bullshit answer. I mean, it's great, but it's such a bullshit answer for something. But just today, like Henry Cavill and Amazon announced that they have actually sealed the deal, and that there are multiple projects in the works, and it's going to happen, like TV shows and movies. It is now confirmed. Amazon have bought the rights to it.
To celebrate as well, he went back to
the little shop.
Yeah, that's yes. He went back to Jersey to the first place he ever bought Warhammer from to sort of like celebrate the big sort of like merge and everything else. So I was like, ooh, this should be good.
Yeah, like there's never been a better time to get into Warhammer now. We've got Space Marine 2, that's out. Speed Freaks is a free game on Steam. You should play that. You just play as orcs doing like Destruction Derby 2.
Yeah, I know. I know you want me to start doing this as a hobby.
I do, yeah. I'm going to do everything I can to get you to start it.
I mean,
I've said, there's a real risk the next time you come around to my house, there will be, a kill team board set up. Like, oh my God, what's happened? You've come at the perfect time. I was about to play against myself, and now you're here. Now I don't have to do that.
Maybe we can set up a way of like doing it on the podcast where we have like just like a big skirmish that happens. So above us, there'll just be like a big table that we can like move like pieces. We have the exact same board, different players.
I mean, people play it. People play it on like a virtual tabletop. I don't know how to do that. That's out of my skill range. And apparently it takes a long time to set up, but once it's set up, you never need to do it again. But yeah, there's also this mod for a game called Arma 3, where the soldiers are now like Imperial Guard, the helicopters are their transports, and other things like that. So yeah, I'm into that whole thing.
Well,
Warhammer's like my main hobby again at the minute.
Yeah,
it's
taken up a lot of your time. I've
and my fucking money. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And my fucking money.
I mean, your son didn't need to go to uni later on in life. It's fine.
If he wants to go to uni, he can fucking pay for it. That's why they made student loans.
Yeah, that's true.
Just change your address once, they'll never find you.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true, so let's not try that, everyone. Okay.
Don't take any advice from me as legal fact. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I barely know where I am. At this point in my life.
In a house.
So if I say something is, oh yeah, it's totally, I can say to you, take tomorrow off work, tell your boss I said it was okay. And then someone out there would be like, all right.
I mean,
this random guy said it was okay for me to take the day off work, said it was okay.
Why not give it a go?
Yeah, you gotta be so careful. I mean, at this time is crazy. Like, never before has a man assassinated a CEO and then had the nation fall in love with him. Have you heard about that?
No.
Have you not heard about that? That's like the big news at the minute. Oh my God. So like 3 or 4 days ago, this guy, he's been, well, the main suspect has been named as some dude called Luigi. He traveled from like, man, where did he travel from? I have no idea. I'm going to get this wrong, so I'm not going to say. He traveled from one city to another via like 2 different Greyhound buses. Had loads of fake IDs. He checked into hotels or hostels with fake IDs, and then had a ghost gun, which apparently is a gun built on unregulated parts and 3D printed parts. So he part 3D printed a gun, and then went and shot and killed this CEO of this insurance company in America. Like in broad, like not broad daylight, but in the street.
Why?
Like this guy, why? I don't know, because he was a healthcare CEO. The story hasn't come out, but you know it's going to be like his son or wife or partner or, you know, husband,
Yeah.
his dad, they died and they couldn't get the money or the life-saving treatment because they were denied by the insurance company. It's going to be something like that. Anyway, he shoots this guy, bang, dead, flees the scene very cleverly as well. Apparently, he's all like changing outfits on the fly and stuff like that. He's not being picked up by cameras. He researched routes, and like the people of America fell in love with him. And they're like, if you see this man on the street, no, you didn't.
What the
It's
fuck?
like, yeah, it's crazy. And it gets wilder from what I can understand. He spent 3 days on the run, which like he just like I say, he just calmly walked away from it. He was changing outfits on the fly like it was fucking Jason Bourne. He was caught in a McDonald's, in a certain McDonald's, I think in Pennsylvania. So he was caught, and when he was arrested, so someone in the McDonald's ratted him out, and currently, this is true, he was caught in this McDonald's. People have gone online to this McDonald's and they're leaving it 1-star reviews on all the review websites. They're like, the place is infested with rats. There are rats everywhere. It has a serious infestation problem.
God.
Like, seriously, they fell in love with
Rats,
him.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah. This other place is like, it's full of dirty, dirty rats. Is one like 1 stars, like, do not go here, you'll get ratted. Loads of things like this. And then when he was arrested, a YouTube video came out on a channel he'd made earlier this year, and it just says it was a countdown for like a minute, and it said, if you're reading this, then I have been arrested, more to follow soon. And apparently, and like he gave a date as like December 11th or 12th or something like that, so in like 1 or 2 days. And like his YouTube channel has been shut down. People downloaded that video and have been reloading it up on different social media websites. Yeah, like there was a photo. When they found out who it was, like the info leaked who it was, people like news stories or whatever went on his social media to find pictures. There were plenty of pictures on his Facebook profile or whatever, but they took the one that made him look the hottest. So he's like on a hike somewhere. He's got his shirt off. You can see his 11 pack. He's got a backpack on, big smile, looking sexy. And that's the photo that all the press have been using to say who it is.
Nice.
Not like his arrest photo or like his mugshot. It's just the sexy picture of him.
So he kills someone and then everyone loves him.
Yeah, because he killed
There's
an insurance
there's
CEO.
definitely more to this story, and I
mean,
I want to know more.
One of the things he had done. Is this going to turn into a true crime podcast? I don't know. He,
Maybe.
He'd engraved on the bullets, deny, delay, defend, or something like that. So deny the claims, delay the payments, and defend your actions in court. And it's the name of a book. Delay, deny, defend, or something like that is the name of a book. And it's like an expose on how insurance companies work and don't get away with not paying, like, you know, the things that they're supposed to.
Jesus.
And so he'd done this, and like, it's wild that you haven't heard of it at the minute. It's crazy. It's all the news I see.
I'm
Between
definitely
that
gonna have
and
to
the
look into
floods.
that.
Yeah, between that and the storm here, it's crazy.
I mean, the storm, yeah, definitely know about
Storm's
that
over.
one.
It's done.
It's done. It's
Yeah,
just
it's done.
over.
It's done. But this one is insane. It's the only news that I keep seeing around. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, man. I'm curious, like, what videos did he have ready to go? Like in the next, because they shut his YouTube channel down, so you can't. I mean, it's crazy that
There's going to be a
but
documentary or something that'll come out, and it'll have all the rest of the stuff on there. Surely,
it's got to, right?
it's going to be
And,
like a
they're-
Netflix special or something like that.
I mean, God, I hope so, because I am invested in this. Like, oh, Gilgamesh. That's what we were talking about before. Before we started recording, I was on about Dan's just messaged me.
Oh, is he just messaged?
Yeah, the summon in Final Fantasy that keeps trying to get Excalibur, but he keeps getting Excalibur. He's called Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh, yeah,
Do you remember him now?
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. From one extreme, local hot breaking murder news. So like, oh yeah, that Final Fantasy dude is called Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
But yeah.
On that
That's the
note,
speed you get here.
I was going to say, on that note, because we've actually been recording for about an hour, this is probably a good time to call it.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
on that weird note.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed listening myself. Because
I
this
mean, I
has
think
been
we've
an
all learned something.
I have learned a hell of a lot today. I'm going to look at the news more often, and yeah, that's going to be
I
great.
think if you just Google Luigi,
I'm,
like
if I Google Luigi, I'm just going to get a lot of like Mario stuff.
you really won't, not right now. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
normally you would. You get like Luigi like fucking himself with a plunger or something, but like not now. Not now. You won't.
Maybe if I go
I know. I've seen your
images.
search history. I know.
If I go images, I might get exactly that. You don't know.
You never know. And if it's not drawn, now it will be.
Yeah, it might get sent in. Right. So I will. I'm gonna head off now, and yeah, we'll have another recording hopefully soon, as long as we got no more tech issues or anything else.
I mean, it's going to be Christmas week, the next one. So I don't think I can do that because my mum's birthday would be the day we record. So it's probably going to be after Christmas. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll just sort of find time over the period just to sort of get something done, and then we'll
Yeah.
just kind of take it from there.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So
Right. Love you. Bye.
love you. Bye.